Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou katoa. My name is Phil Nagelkirk, and such a pleasure to be launching Melanie's wonderful new book, Tama and the Taniwha, tonight. Māori title, there is a Māori edition as well, called Ko Tama me te Taniwha, translated by Taniwha Tata. I'm not sure the bookshop probably has that one as well, I would think. This is a great addition to the children's literature of New Zealand Aotearoa. I've followed Melanie's writing career with interest over the years. She's had 2 previous picture books published. I noticed some people have been picking up a couple of those. A Reluctant Little Flower Girl, so it's good to see that's still in print, in 2008, and Millie Maloo and the Miracle Glue in 2011, as well as poems and short stories. So can you hear me at the back there, right? Okay. Melanie's been shortlisted for the prestigious Joy Cowley Award, Storylines Award, half a dozen times already. And I was so stoked that last year she won the award with the manuscript for this book. This is a reflection of the tremendous skills that Melanie brings to her writing, the stubborn persistence necessary for any writer to achieve success, and also the dedication she has to her craft. Now, this dedication encompasses the way that Melanie has for many years now encouraged and supported young writers in their writing endeavours through her work at Russell Primary School, including seeing the children's work through to publication on such things as Paula Green's Poetry Box website and in journals such as Toi Toi. I've read that Melanie once worked as a travel consultant, and it seems to me that good writing is somewhat akin to that, perhaps even more so. A writer's words not only help us set out on a journey, but they accompany and support us the whole way. Tama and the Taniwha does all of those things. 4 siblings, 3 older sisters, 1 younger brother, go swimming in a lake, and there they discover what none of them quite expected. It's not only a quintessentially New Zealand scenario, it's one that naturally blends te reo with the English text. The narrative is reflective of Melanie's tremendous facility with words, especially the musicality of language. There's not a word wasted. And even though the text, unlike Melanie's 2 previous books, isn't rhymed, it has a word-perfect flow that makes it ideal for reading aloud. A Taniwha with shiny, slimy green scales and silvery, beady eyes and gnashing, slashing teeth. Melanie doesn't shy away either from using multi-syllabic words, which may not be immediately familiar to young readers, but for whom the sound of the words will continue to resonate. Grandma backstroked off to practice for her upcoming senior citizen synchronised swimming championship. Isn't that marvellous? The text expertly builds tension as Tama, bit by bit, immerses himself in the water, overcoming the uncertainty generated by the ongoing teasing of his sisters. Now, observant readers or listeners will spot on first or subsequent readings the vital visual clues pointing to the story's resolution, which brings me to the pictures. Melanie's daughter Monica illustrated Tama and the Taniwha. Just like the words themselves, I've called the pictures luminous. They're like stained glass windows or a bright filter over a camera's lens that, in harmony with the text, transform an ordinary everyday experience into something even more magical and memorable than it might have otherwise been. The pages offer an enormous variety of layout, from full colour double spreads to pages with more white space that gives readers some breathing room, to perspectives that reflect the worlds above and below the water. Throughout, there is a palpable sense of movement as the reflections and ripples in the lake draw the reader on and into the mystery of the Taniwha that may or may not be lurking beneath its waters. This is a very impressive and extremely confident picture book debut, and I for one certainly look forward to what this talented author and illustrator create next, together or separately. Given that both Melanie and Monica are also musicians, it seemed only fitting to launch Tama and the Taniwha with the following sound effect. I think you'll be able to hear this. And I now declare Tama and the Taniwha officially launched. Yeah.
Kia ora tātou, ko Zach McCullum tōko ingoa. I'm the school librarian at Te Kura o Te Toawa Hawesville School, but I'm also part of the Storylines organisation, which has the responsibility of helping to choose the winners of the Joy Cowley Award. So it's a real honour to be part of that. And when we get the submissions for those, usually there's about 60 to 80 picture book submissions for that award. When we get them, we just get them as a manuscript, so just blank pages with the text on them. So really for a picture book to be chosen for that award, it really has to stand out and shine, which it certainly did for us. It was an amazing story, and to see the final product with the illustrations is really amazing. And I think it's a real honour to have the chance to collaborate with family as well on a picture book, which is quite a rare opportunity. So that's really cool that Scholastic were able to do that as well. I just have a message from Scholastic, who weren't able to be here tonight, that I'll just read out as well. Sending heartfelt congratulations to you, Melanie and Monica, from all the team at Scholastic for the launch of Tama and the Taniwha. We are sorry not to be able to celebrate in person with you this evening, but are cheerleading from afar. We fell fast and hard for your playful, cheeky triumph of a story from the very first reading, with hearts captured by gentle Tama and imaginations claimed by the mysterious, glittering, cheeky Taniwha, who bears a striking resemblance to a certain mysterious someone in the whānau. But wait, there's more. All of this is brought to life in vivid colour and in the familiar setting of summertime Aotearoa by the skillful hand of Monica, making for a fantastic mother and daughter team. We couldn't be prouder of the way your puka puka has turned out, both in English and with the retelling by Pānia Papa in Te Reo Māori. Your publishing team, Lynette, Penny and Abby.
Kia ora koutou e te whānau. Thank you to everyone for coming and celebrating with us. Thank you to UBS for hosting yet another of our family's book launches and for being so supportive. Thank you to Bill, where he's gone. We're very lucky in New Zealand to have an awesome writing community. And when I first began writing, I received a lot of support from the South Island Writers Association and from writers such as Margaret Mahi, Joy Cowley and Gavin Bishop. And Gavin's here tonight too, somewhere. Ah, there you go. Bill Nagelkirk was especially helpful. As he mentioned, reading some of my early writing, and some of it was pretty bad, and encouraging me to keep writing and to enter the Joy Cowley Award. So thank you to Storylines, who run the Joy Cowley Award, with the most amazing prize, including an offer of publication from Scholastic. And a huge thank you to Scholastic, Penny, Lynette, Abby and team, and to translator Pānia Papa. We were thrilled to learn that our book would also be available in Te Reo Māori, and very cool to have the launch time for Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori. Thank you to Belinda, my sister and fellow author. She's on the drinks table. Hi, Belinda. For pestering me. She's a little sister, so she's really good at pestering. So for pestering me to try again one more time after I'd entered the competition many times unsuccessfully over the past 10 or 11 years. Thanks to Mum for believing in me and for the amazing holidays that Mum and Dad took us on in Rosie, our home-built camper van, where we found all the best swimming spots and, as it turns out, the seed for a story. To Linda McGilvery, where's Linda? Hi, oh, at the back there. So Linda, thank you for writing the song about the Taniwha, and it's probably not the one that most people will know. This is Linda's Taniwha song, Don't Put Your Waiwai in the Water, which she sang to Monica and Isaac at Hawthornden Kindergarten when she was the head teacher there. So this song was rattling around in my mind as I reminisced on childhood memories of Belinda and I swimming in lakes and rivers, where Dad would take great delight in diving under and grabbing our feet, pretending to be a giant eel or a water dragon. Hence the beginnings of the story, which became Tama and the Taniwha. I'd like to say thank you to Jane Rush for her unbridled enthusiasm and support for our book and for helping us find our Tama, and more about that soon. Thank you to Paul, Isaac and Monica for their unwavering support, patience and being very honest sounding boards. Monica. I was over the moon when Scholastic picked Monica to illustrate, and watching Monica breathe life into Tama and the Taniwha has been an exciting process, and I have a whole new appreciation for illustrators. The illustrations are stunning and such an incredible achievement, especially as most of the work she accomplished while battling debilitating illness. I'm in awe of what she has created and so proud to have my name on the cover of her first picture book. Tama and the Taniwha, with its glittery, wise, tricksy grandma, is about family. And books are a big part of our family. And my grandma was one of the first people to encourage me to write. And she would be amazed that 3 of her granddaughters and a great-granddaughter are publishing books. And if she was here, she'd say, let's have a little something to celebrate. Now, Monica's asked me to read her speech. She's not quite up to it tonight. So this is from Monica. Thanks to everyone for coming along tonight and to the UBS Bookshop for hosting the launch. Also thanks to Scholastic for the opportunity to illustrate her first picture book. Thanks to her friends and family, and thanks to Will and Gons for your design advice. Monica would especially like to thank Denzel. Do you want to come up here, Denzel? Now, Denzel might look a little bit familiar. Denzel was an awesome model for Taniwha, for Tama and the Taniwha. So Monica came into school and Denzel, we asked you to do some strange things, didn't we? We didn't have any water for him to be swimming, so do you remember how we did that one? What did you have to lie on?
Like a stool.
Your stool and a table was lying on that, pretending to swim, so we could take some photos so Monica could use them as a reference for the illustration. So he did an amazing job. So let's give Denzel a very big thanks. And then finally, she says thank you to Gavin Bishop for telling her when she was 5 years old that he wanted to read one of her books one day. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome and really cool to have you here tonight too, Gavin. Yeah, so thank you. So I guess now I need to read the book. So if there are any kids who want to be able to see the pictures, you're welcome to squeeze through and come closer so you can see. Don't put your wai in the water, being Tama's big sisters, or the Taniwha might get you. There's no Taniwha in the lake, is there, Grandad? Well now, Tama, I can't say I've ever seen one here, Grandad replied. A Taniwha with shiny, slimy green scales, said Taniwha, and silvery beady eyes and gnashing, slashing teeth, said Tui. And a purple pointy tongue, Maya teased. Whooping and hollering, the girls splashed out into the lake and leapt onto the safety of their inflatables. Tama stood at the water's edge, peering into the darkness. Ripples vanished, leaving the glassy surface flat and smooth like a freshly ironed tablecloth. He dipped a foot into the water. Tasty toes, taunted Taniwha. Taniwha taka, chuckled Tui. Kai time, Maya laughed. It was getting hotter and hotter. Grandma changed into a shimmery, shiny swimming costume which gleamed like a polished power shell. Tossing her long silver hair over her shoulder, she gave Tama a wink. You should join me. The water's beautiful. Maybe soon, said Tama. Grandma backstroked off to practice for her upcoming senior citizen synchronised swimming championship. Tama caught glimpses of her glittery purple toenails in the frothy splash. I'll keep an eye on the kids, Grandad called out. Aren't you going in for a swim, Tama? Tama waded in, up to his knees. Don't put your kumu in the water, his sisters sang, and pointed out a dark shadow nearby. The Taniwha will get you. Tama peered into the water. It's just an old log, he said under his breath. The water was refreshing and he ventured a little deeper. Don't put your puku in the water, his sisters sang, and pointed out a ripple near him. The Taniwha will get you. Tama felt something brush against his leg. Probably just an eel. He shivered and pushed off, swimming out into the lake. Don't put your mahunga in the water, his sisters sang, and held their hands to their ears. Do you hear that? It's the terrible Taniwha gnashing its teeth. Probably just the wind rattling harakeke by the shore, Tama murmured. He took a breath and dived under. Coming up for air, he spied his sisters in the distance, floating like lizards on their inflatables. Suddenly, one of them began to shriek, "My foot! My foot!" Her face was white, eyes wild, and she thrashed and flailed about like a tuna in a trap. "It's got me!" The other sisters laughed at first, but then they too began screaming and kicking about. "It's got me too!" The girls leapt from their inflatables and swam to shore. "Did you see it? Did you see it?" they asked Grandad. Grandad stroked his beard and squinted into the distance. "I saw something, but the sun was in my eyes, so I can't be sure." "What did you see?" they asked, trembling. "Well, there was a flash of green, a splash of silver, and a flicker of purple," said Grandad. "The Taniwha!" the girls cried. Grandad went back to his book and the girls collapsed on the bank. Taking a big breath, Tama slipped deeper into the lake. He followed a trail of bubbles and ripples until he met the Taniwha, who wasn't terrible at all. She sparkled like a polished paua shell and flashed him a silvery smile. Tama played with the Taniwha all afternoon. The Taniwha taught him how to do a tumble turn underwater. She let him ride on her back and they raced long thin eels to the other side of the lake. They collected shiny flat stones and skipped them across the surface. Floating like starfish, they studied shape-shifting clouds. The Taniwha told tall tales and terrible jokes, and Tama laughed anyway, so he didn't hurt her feelings. When it was time to eat, Tama swam back to shore, where his sisters were now hot and bothered. "You should go for a swim," he said. "The water's lovely." "Oh, but do watch out for the Taniwha. I hear big sisters are her favourite."